All right, Tiff, I'm so excited that you are here today and that you agreed to chat with me more about your experience in the Business of Being a Boss program. So, tell
Yes.
me, what was your absolute biggest challenge prior to joining us?
I think for me personally, just thinking about another business course was making me just cringe. Like I think I was like, I'm not going to be doing a business anything right now. Like that's the last thing I feel like I need. But I honestly, I needed it so bad because I felt like for me, business does not come easy. I never thought of myself as like an entrepreneur. I've been doing hygiene for so long, but I knew like there's still so much more that I needed to figure out. And I heard such great things from friends and they were like, you got to do it. You got to do it. And I was like, oh, I got to sign up. I got to sign up. And then I was excited because I was like, I still feel like there's so much unanswered questions and for the unknown, like seeing what's going to happen. But um, I was astonished. Like I was really every week I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed in this point of my life." Like there's just so much that goes into it that you just don't figure out and right away from like the support, I felt like this is exactly where I need to be.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
How did it feel like, why did you feel like, oh my gosh, not another business course? Like,
Oh,
what what was kind of the challenge behind that?
I because with like business stuff, I'm like, okay, there's certain things that I was like, okay, I kind of already have this figured out, but there's so many different dynamics and mindset, I feel like with business that doesn't get talked about. Like for me, I felt like the imposter syndrome. Like I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is not what you signed up for. And I thought, I kept looking back and I was like, why am I thinking this way? Why do I not deserve this? Why do I not see myself doing this? And it was all like things that I put into my head
Yeah.
and realizing that, writing it down, journaling, things I was like thinking about like in the past, but actually like having someone push you to do it like in your most like uncomfortable like times you're like I'm not gonna do this and then doing it you're like okay, I can see why I did that.
I love it.
But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. Like I think of the first time I went to an office, like again because I would always like drop and run, right? But I would always hear you in the back of my head being like, okay, you actually gotta like talk to them, you gotta sit. And I think the more you had said, like, keep going, keep doing it, trust the system, trust the process. It's going to be uncomfortable, but trust it. And after that, I was like, all right, like, just put my big girl panties on and just keep going. And then it got easier. And I was like, it does get easier because you feel like, you have so much support from you and the group and other, moms, other, females that are going through the same feelings and situations you are. It was great.
I love it. I love it. So, what do you think is the biggest change? So after completing it, after joining us, like what do you feel like is the biggest shift you had?
Confidence,
Love it.
like
So
way more confidence, like so much more. I was like, I actually know what I'm doing. Like, this is all like either I put something in my head like why this couldn't happen and working through that and just acknowledging like just hey, I don't have time for that. But the confidence and knowing, this is what I have in place and my goals is where it's what needs to happen and just keep my eye on that and just keep going and definitely some days it's hard because you're just like, oh, one more place, one more office, or, one more person talk about it. But it does, like you keep planting the seeds, where you go. And that's given me like way more confidence and knowing I'm doing it correctly, I think. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about joining?
Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like, you're gonna, like, why are you not doing it? You got to do it. It's just, I like literally, I feel so like honored even to be, in this course and with all these like empowering women. Um, and you're crazy if you don't do it. Like, this is what you need for your life and your business and your family and your friends.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's the new tagline. You're crazy if you don't do it.
You're crazy. You're crazy. You got to do it. What's holding you back? I know. It's
I
true
love
because
it.
I was like, what was holding me back? I was like, oh, because like when you think like you're like, oh, business, you're like, oh, like I'm gonna be asleep in the corner, right? But
Excuses, old
this,
boring white men.
yeah, I was like, I just like I don't even want to do it. I don't like I'm gonna run away. But this, I was actually like looking forward to every week. I was looking forward to the new like challenge. Like I know it wasn't gonna be easy, but if you want it, you gotta take it, you know?
So good. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add?
Um, I feel like I just think that this for you have done so well. And seriously, like you knowing what is needed and that you also your support and being there for everybody and you're like, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's do it. What else? Let's get on it. And that to me is just so great when you're like you have such a support and mentorship and I feel just this has been so great for myself and I always like no matter like how hard days are I just like think about like back of my head I'm like Megan's like oh you guys got it, you guys are good, and just knowing even that that's true even though you probably like for us have said it a lot or thought and but just having you there and everybody else in the sport has been great.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited for your next steps in your business and to see it continue to grow. So, thank you.
Thank you.